सुजॉय घोष याद आ जाएगा आपको।
हम लाइव
Sir, I
हैं
like the author. I do like the author, you realize.
You
हम
just don't
लाइव
like
हैं
Sujoy.
गाइस 7 सेकंड हो चुके हैं
Hello,
एक
hello, hello.
एक दर्शक है हमारा आई थिंक वो क्रिस
Thank you.
है जहाँ तक मुझे पता है एंड आई एम आई I think I should apologize even before saying anything. I know you weren't expecting to see me and you were disappointed, but
Surprise.
Hemant ko last minute mein he had some work come up, so I will
उसके पास actual
unfortunately.
काम है।
हाँ exactly. मेरे पास नहीं था, so I decided to barge in on this episode. And Swapnil is also here. Why does it show one person only? I have no idea.
It is not
Anyways.
counting Swapnil now.
No, I have no. 4 people are here. 4 people are here.
Wonderful.
So,
Wonderful.
Hemant, if you do get a chance to be on the live stream silently, just write your thoughts whilst you're in your meeting. I will put that up. I think
We will try to entertain you while you are in your meeting. Usually
yeah,
that's what happens.
your comments will be more enlightening about the film than because I'm bringing in most of the snark for this episode, considering I'm a bit
Yeah.
iffy on that film.
I'm
Anyways.
exhausted, so I'm too exhausted to even be snarky. I'm just going to be normal.
Okay. Anyways, Varun, where's your background?
नहीं सर, वो मैंने पिछले वाले में भी निकाल ही दिया।
Dot का प्यार
अच्छा,
खत्म.
No, not
Dot
really.
का-
I'm just sitting in the AC right now.
You're sitting in AC. What is this, Varun?
एक AC चल ही रहा था ना घर में finally.
अच्छा,
मैं बैठ गया।
okay. हाँ, हम उसूलों को ऐसे बेंड करते हैं जैसे हिटमैन में भी वो अपने उसूल
Sir,
बदलता है.
if you get up at 3 in the morning, your shirt is drenched in sweat, no? आप भी बोलोगे यार भाड़ में गए
Anyway,
उसे।
yeah, as the resident philosophy major, it is my job to make. Oh yes.
I'll give you a snarky comment. More entertaining than Hitman is the Bangladesh South Africa match going on right now. Whoever
Very
thought the
nice.
Bangladeshis could be entertaining.
Anyways, I
To
think
all
we'll
the
be.
Bangladeshis watching, we support you.
Anyways,
We
I
support
don't
you
know
in
how.
your cricketing endeavors, not in your attempts to
Not
enter
in
our country
anything
illegally.
else. Not in anything else.
Okay. क्यों खुफिया promotion Amartya do it? You know, weirdly enough, we have खुफिया praise due in the episode we recorded, Chris and I. So, yeah.
Good,
Anyways.
good. Come to the dark side, all of you.
I mean, we
Philosophy
liked it from
major
before.
is just
also.
people who want to do like professional. It's like a pyramid scheme. Like मैं philosophy पढ़ूंगा फिर
दो
मैं philosophy
लोग देख
पढ़ाऊंगा।
रहे हैं
Sir, my
दो लोग
mother
देख
is a
रहे हैं मत
philosophy
बोलो
major. If you, my mother is a philosophy major. If you,
What? Tell me honestly, what do philosophy majors do apart from teach philosophy?
see, I don't care. I don't care.
Sorry, Chris, Swapnil, and Amartya's mom,
Amartya's
all
mom.
three. I'm very sorry. I've taken
only
one
have
philosophy
greater
class and I
stars
think
for
I gave up after that.
I
मुझसे नहीं
only have greater disregard for engineers.
हुआ. I also. That is
Yeah,
literally
बैठा
true,
हूँ
though
यार.
I am studying to teach. Yeah, I think academia is the place to go, no? I mean, कौन यहाँ पे लोग
किसने बोला academia is the place to go? Who is that Manus आदमी who said academia is the place to go?
नहीं for
Engineering academia
philosophers
is
I
bad.
said यार.
Humanities is not so bad.
engineering academy. I'm not even doing
Even
engineering
science academia.
Yeah.
Glad Varun is here after long. Wow,
Thank
Varun,
you.
you
Yes, I'm
people
also-
like
You
you
are
on the
also
I'm also
live
happy to
stream.
be
Yeah.
talking to Dhruv and Amartya and like.
I mean, you're not happy to be
I
talking
would
to
have
me.
liked to
You
be talking to Aryan also, but today he's probably in a bad mood.
Why?
क्यों क्या हुआ?
Portfolios were assigned today.
No, but I think we should stop blabbering. No, I think Varun is only disappointed because he was supposed to moderate this episode and he came in all prepared and I
I had
nicely,
prepared that.
I
had
nicely
two
came in
segues.
and was like, actually, it's not my fault. Why should I blame myself? It's Hemant's
If you
fault.
want, I can still moderate. If
Go
you're not
for it.
prepared.
Go for
Go
it.
for
I mean,
it.
I have
Go
this.
for
Which
I don't
I
care
do have
either.
the. I mean, whatever.
Go for it.
That
मैं वैसे भी वेला हूँ. मुझे क्या है?
They are saying your role in the live stream is to butt Ogyan. Also, I love Varun's disdain for engineers. I'm going to an engineering college for my master's. So
This is a person who goes to IIT for arts degrees. Very good. I support this
Yes.
endeavor.
I don't know
They've
what's
started
worse.
BAs
I
also.
don't know what's worse. The fact
We
that you're
don't
going
need
to an
to throw
IIT.
shade on a live stream in which we have 3 viewers. Okay, all 3 of whom
You can throw
you
shade
might
at IIT. Nobody's an IIT over here.
बनने वाला है ना कोई.
वो भी हम guess ही कर रहे हैं. Anyway, so we are talking
Anyways.
about the second most entertaining thing we've watched in the last 2 days after the swearing in of the Prime Minister and his cabinet.
And even that is doubtful, to be honest with you.
There was a leopard in that swearing in. It was more entertaining.
Yes.
We are talking about Bad Boys first because Amartya has
Yes.
watched it and he really loves Michael Bay.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Let me clarify that for a second. I am a Michael Bay fan because I'm an early 2000s action movie lover. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
have
are you
seen
saying that you
Michael-
don't agree with his sexual politics or
I
gender
don't.
politics?
I don't. 100%.
You don't believe in cola-covered Megan Fox.
I don't believe in the fact that a couple of drill sergeants are better than astronauts while destroying an asteroid. I don't. I don't think anybody does. But that's fine.
Anyways, yeah.
No.
So no. Before actually, let's just preamble this. Before Hitman, we're going to be, because we are doing the एक पे एक free, I suppose, or एक पे दो तीन free in terms of the movies we are going to be talking. Because see, Chris Patrick is going to definitely be mentioning in the comments about Bade Miyan Chote Miyan because he saw it.
Chris,
Unfortunately.
I saw 10 minutes. I applaud your patience.
हाँ, so ये vulgar auteurism जो है स्वप्निल और I think which we will be talking about, basically the two directors are paying homage to him, right, in the new Bad Boys movie, I think.
100%.
And you saw also Munjia, which is your now favorite film of the year, I think. So, okay.
भाई इतना incompetent movie कौन बनाता है?
It made money, but yeah.
It's made lot
I
of
guess it's the year of incompetent movies making money.
It's not
It's
just
a
that.
year of
It's like you just
incompetent
want a
horror
general...
movies making money.
It's about
Incompetent horror
stuff
movies.
where you got no investment, right? Otherwise,
But that's smart though,
made a
no?
lot of money. Like romance requires you to invest in characters. Horror comedy ऐसे ही जाकर देख कर आ सकते हो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है.
No, but that is smart then, no? At least you're not pumping like whatever 150 crores on like stuff like
Arey,
Bade
horror
Miyan, Chote
comedy-
Miyan, and then
Arey,
getting-
horror comedy
yeah.
doesn't mean chutiappa. People need to realize that, no?
See, but
I was
okay,
not
I'll just...
expecting this to. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I'll quickly make this point. Thing is that it's a peculiarity that is entirely unique to us as a nationality. We are probably the only country in the world where more horror comedies are made than horror
Then
movies.
horror. I would say
Straight
horror
horror
is
we
comedy
don't
only,
like.
ना.
हाँ,
जो
मतलब
horror
सर रैमसे
बनाते हैं
ब्रदर्स
अपन
देखना बंद करो.
नहीं, मैं तो नहीं देखता, but even films that try, like Vikram Bhatt and all, I mean, he has tried, like there's no denying
Yeah,
that
there's
he
no
has
denying,
not
there's
tried,
no
right? So,
Vikram Bhatt ने unintentionally comedy बनाया है. Actually wanted to make horror only. But
yeah,
he
but
made
like,
comedy.
I know Sanjeev is not here, but Ram Gopal Verma has still made whatever your decent horror films, right? So,
Yeah,
Pawn
I mean,
is very scary. Like,
Pawn
it's
is-
quite
Pawn is
creepy.
very
Pawn is not horror. Pawn
Oh,
is...
it's not horror. It's like a psychological
It's
thriller,
an
I
actual
suppose.
horror
yeah.
movie is quite funny, huh? Bhoot.
Bhoot is that's because you have your Fardeen Khan joke lined up always. Anyways,
And Nana Patekar.
I'm sorry. I don't need to hear Varun's joke. The movie itself is very funny. I'm
It
sorry.
is. Have you seen that asinine lovemaking sequence between Ajay Devgan and Urmila Matondkar?
That's
I
not
wanted to-
lovemaking. I don't know what that is.
is Ajay Devgan awake in that? That's the other question.
Yes.
Considering his
Oh, he's
recent.
very awake in that.
Okay, fine. Fine.
But I think it's just that we keep making these movies, and after a point you're going
yes,
to run out
Devolina,
of...
he's that.
He's that.
I'm sorry to laugh. I'm sorry to laugh so loudly. He's the epitome of male gaze.
Male gaze, yeah.
Any director represents male
No,
gaze.
he's like male
1 to
teenage
200.
gaze, or even like it's
Ah,
just
वो
it's
वही
like
फंसा है.
yeah, you know what perfect term Swapnil used, and many people used vulgar auteurism is the thing and Americans have some weird fascination with this vulgar auteurism where
No.
I mean-
I'm going to push back slightly on that. But
Okay.
bolo baad mein फिर.
no, I don't have anything. I've not seen much of his work. Whatever I've seen, I despise his style. So I mean, I'm not going to say anything.
Tangam remake was him, right? Palava.
Guys, come on, we have to discuss Hitman also.
Sir,
We are bringing more comedy than Munja over here.
Sir, to be fair, Bade Miyan Chote Miyan, the original is basically Bad Boys ka remake.
Is
Let's
it
put
okay?
it- Yes.
I mean, even
But
Hot Fuzz is a send up. It's just a smart send up, right? So,
I was
yeah.
watching that movie again yesterday. Great fun.
So
anyways, you were saying.
my point being, so
Hmm.
Hmm.
I saw Bad Boys Ride or Die, the actual movie, which is currently in theaters, the new one.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Abir
Do you
and
know the
Bilal's.
director's name?
Abil
Did
and Bilal. I think I don't know their
Okay.
full name, but I know
They
what
directed
they.
the one before this also, right?
Yes,
I
yes,
think.
yes. They also
Okay.
directed a Bad Girl movie, which is never going to get released because Warner
Hmm.
Brothers shelved it for a tax write-off. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's
Okay.
not go there.
Hmm.
So
जाती
I mean,
दुश्मनी अमर
I
थे
mean, it
और
matters a lot. I mean,
डेविड
it matters
जासलम
a
की.
lot. Yeah,
Hmm.
because I would like to congratulate the two directors on actually releasing a movie. I never thought that I would have to say this, but anyway.
Yeah.
So I saw that movie, and it's after watching that movie, I could not write a review because I thought only one line can sum up that movie. Bad Boys is becoming Fast and Furious at this point.
Ah,
They
you
are
were
two
saying, yeah.
movies away from saying family after every dialogue. ठीक है?
Okay.
It's a future generation बन रहा है, सब कुछ हो रहा है, आदमी मर जाता है, फिर बच जाता है, सब होगा. कोई टेंशन नहीं है, सब होगा. It's
But
just
do
that
you
the
think
action.
the no? I was about to ask. Do you think the ridiculousness suits the franchise in any case? Because I feel
No, ridiculousness is fine, but ridiculousness has a very specificity that has become very norm nowadays. It's
sure,
like Hollywood has forgotten what actual ridiculousness looked like.
sure.
What Bad Boys used to be capable of, and what Bad Boys is currently now is like night and day. Because
Movie
You mean the
picture.
uh,
movie or like
See, you came in all prepared to be to all the bad jokes you've also got. Anyways,
yes,
this is the title of the film, right?
yes, no,
Okay.
Bad Boys Ride or Die. Bad Boys for Life is the third one. I know it has
how
a
Never
many
mind.
four
Bad
in it.
Boys
It should be
movies
the
are there?
fourth one. There are four
Never mind.
because
This
yeah,
is Martin
You
Lawrence and Will Smith.
finish
Martin
your
Lawrence and
praise
this
of
one.
Bad Boys 2 and finish
No,
your
no.
talk about Bad Boys,
My thing
whatever
is,
this
Bad
is.
Boys Ride or Die feels very much like a CGI. It is slowly becoming a CGI mess of a movie. It still
Okay.
hasn't reached there yet, but it will.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was like, let me see. Like, if I wanted to rewatch the earlier twos just to see what was the difference.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 1 is very different, by the way. Again, directed by
Okay.
Michael Bay, but this is not Michael Bay before he became like some MTV jock.
Yeah.
Okay, his music video aesthetic hasn't come in yet. It's
Hmm.
kind of there. It's like the Don Simpson aesthetic, which was in Top Gun as well as Hunger, as well as all the other movies, Days of Thunder. Those
Hmm.
are still there, but
Okay.
it's like that sepia tone. Okay, all beach noises and
Ha
everything.
ha ha. It's like
Lots
everything's
of
washed
nightclub
out, right?
shots,
Essentially.
lots of
Yeah.
nightclub shots and all that stuff. Those are still there.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but Bad Boys 1 is also very procedural, quote unquote. Okay, so it's like
Okay.
it's very different in that regard. It has also one of the most blandest plot points I've ever seen in a thriller.
Okay.
So, eh, Bad Boys 2 is insane.
Okay.
It's insane. That's the only word I can use for it. It's batshit insane. The movie's
As
runtime
in.
is 146 minutes long. It's 1 minute longer than the Shawshank Redemption. Okay, it's
The
1 minute
movie is
longer
already
than
like ये
Shawshank.
4 दिन लगेंगे देखने में.
नहीं नहीं
It's
मैं
already
देखूंगा नहीं. So, it's different scenario. Anyways.
it's insane. It's insane because like anybody who hasn't seen the movie, I'll just recommend you go to YouTube, search Bad Boys 2 Freeway Chase. Just search
Insane
it
good, I
once.
think, Debolina in this case
Yeah,
format.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
search it. Just search it once. That freeway chase is so well executed. It's practically adrenaline rush throughout, and the entire movie is basically there are four major set pieces. The entire movie is constructed around that, except he never forgets the fact that he's dealing with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. So he's going to use a specific brand of humor which is like utter nastiness.
Okay.
Utter nastiness, utter nihilism. It's literally like there is a scene in which there is a dead body. Will Smith's character is scrounging his hand inside a corpse. That's the humor. And the biggest point is all the jokes are funny. It's
Okay.
insane how the jokes are funny. It's insane. It's funny.
Yeah. Because
It's
he's not a
offensive
fun.
too.
I mean, at least I don't find him funny whenever I've
It's
seen
funny
his
because
work.
Martin Lawrence. It's funny because Martin Lawrence is a comedic genius. It's
Sure.
hilarious, and also the fact is that it's also offensive to a fault. It was made post 9/11. The amount of racist jokes in this, anybody seeing this time would have cancelled Michael Bay at right and center. Michael Bay doesn't give a flying F because, like in
I mean,
the
his movies make tons of money also, so I mean, you
yeah,
can't
because in
really.
the rap battle music in which Spielberg
I
versus everybody, Michael Bay in the final line says mother effing money, which he does. Telephoto
Yeah.
lens and everything. Everybody of it makes money,
Yeah.
no question about it. But
Yeah.
that quote unquote vulgar auteurism that exists because it's all a balancing act. You know, the plot is complicated. The comedy is vulgar, offensive. It's also funny. The action sequences are jaw dropping. Like Bay is using the perfect balance of practical stunts as well as CGI. It hasn't become a CGI mess like the Transformers yet.
Sure.
It
Got
hasn't
it.
become like aspect ratio changing like you are having a seizure or something. It hasn't
Yeah.
reached there yet.
Yeah.
Or it hasn't reached the drone shots which ambulance uses.
Ambulance had, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which becomes very old very quick because Abil and Bilal uses it in Bad Boys for Life, and I'm telling you, I'm not a fan of that actually. Not a fan of that.
Okay. Okay.
So
Got it.
and also Bad Boys 2 is kind of also like one of those movies like say a Man of Steel. It's one of those movies that is like sneakily influential.
Okay.
Sneakily influential. Nobody
It
wants
is.
to
It
credit
has
it.
an influence,
influential.
no? Huh?
Boy, Man of Steel is influential to each and every superhero movies and animated TV shows currently being made nowadays.
You
Not
mean the
even kidding.
2013 Man of
Yeah,
Steel?
Zack
With
Snyder.
Michael
Yeah, yeah,
Shannon. Yes.
yeah.
I like how you
100%.
said
I'm not
Michael
kidding.
Shannon and not Henry Cavill.
And not Henry
because
Cavill.
because I remember see I don't like that movie so and I don't like Zack Snyder also. Sorry for anyone who's a fan of both these directors.
Man of Steel is Zack Snyder's best movie.
So
If
yeah,
that's
you
his
and
best movie, I
even
don't want to watch anything else he's made.
even
It is his
you and
best
I
movie.
think Sanjeet also
Sanjeev.
really likes it.
Mhm.
But no, I remember Michael Shannon because he shouts a lot in that.
He shouts a lot.
Uh,
Michael Shannon is
yeah.
also in Bad Boys 2, by the way. A very
Is he?
blink and miss cameo. Yeah, he's
Wow.
in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of those
So
Ku Klux Klan members, basically. Yeah.
Varun and me look in disbelief, but I don't think there should be disbelief considering I've seen whatever.
No,
You've seen
but the
actual
point
clan
is,
members.
No, I've seen
Dhruv
no,
is
Bay.
just
but the
walking
thing
down
is,
Manhattan.
many
इतनी बारिश है सामने से
superhero
50
movies,
लोग.
many superhero movies and TV shows and even animated shows nowadays, including say X-Men 97, the animated show which just came out, all are literally copying action sequences from Man of Steel and basically reskinning them.
Okay.
That movie is
So I think
sneakily
this
influential,
is.
and in that
This
regard,
is
Bad Boys
yeah.
2. And in that regard, Bad Boys 2 is also very sneakily influential. I saw at least 4 to 5 sequences which Fast 5, the best Fast and Furious movie, takes from this.
Interesting. I mean,
At
the
least 5 sequences.
whole last section of Hot Fuzz is a homage,
Like Bad Boys
right?
2's last sequence is
It's an
basically
it's an
having
homage to everything though.
No, but
Bad
Bad Boys 2 in particular, I think.
Bad
No, but
Boys
And
2
Point
I
Break.
the
would
last
disagree
fight
with that.
sequence. Bad
Okay.
Boys 2 the
No,
last
that's
chase
because those are the
sequence. If
two.
you guys
बोलो
Sorry.
बोलो sorry Amartya.
Bad Boys 2 ka last chase sequence, if you guys haven't seen Jackie Chan's Police Story, it's basically a rip-off of the first chase sequence's Police Story. That entire Favala car chase scene, that's
Okay.
basically taken from Police Story. My point is, it's taken, but they executes it great.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of his, but I'm not denying that he doesn't have a distinctive
Like
style.
I'm not saying that all his movies are bangers. They're not. Like I'm never going to say that he's an offensive dude whose political correctness has gone off the toss. Doesn't matter to me at this point. But it's like there are very few filmmakers who can actually capture the complete weirdness and assholery of Florida or Miami. Michael Bay is that one filmmaker. His two best
Sure.
movies are all set in Florida: Pain and Gain and Bad Boys 2. His two best movies.
Okay.
So,
1 second. Best FNF is the James Wan one. Which
Yeah,
is the
I
James
agree.
Wan one?
James Furious 7, which has Jason Statham in it. I agree. I agree that it's very good. It's not as good as Fast Five, but it's very good.
Not a
Yeah.
James. I think James Wan after Conjuring, I've lost hope only. I like that a lot, but after that, Malignant. I mean, Swapnil,
Malignant
I'm
is
sure
far
you're a fan
better.
of Malignant, so you can put
No,
that
I
on.
Even
don't
the
think.
Enfield
I don't.
Poltergeist is
Oh,
such a painful movie. I was laughing when I was watching that.
Insidious.
Enfield
No, the
Poltergeist.
Enfield
Enfield.
Poltergeist.
Okay. Anyways, out. No, we are done with all the
We're not
excess.
covering Bade Mia, Chote Mia. We're
We are
not.
not covering that. If Chris, you're around after listening to all the action movie talk, uh, Malignant बढ़िया है क्या यार? As in, like, is this question or a statement?
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's what we want
बढ़िया
to
है,
know.
कॉमा क्या यार? It's like that.
Yes.
ach- I mean,
इतनी वाहियात फिल्म है वो.
I really don't like it. Anyways, okay, yeah. So
It's good
Chris,
rubbish.
you can continue the tirade of Bade Miyan Chote
Bade
Miyan.
Miyan
If
Chote
Sanjay,
Miyan, yes.
if Sanjeet was here, he would have definitely joined you. But I know he's not here because he's not seen Hitman, and then we'll be spoiling the film for him also.
And
But
also,
But
also
he's
I
watched
really
Bade
do not-
Mia Chote Mia.
तो cousins
I
के
also do
साथ
not
ना?
want. Yeah. I also do not want to like bash on Munjia because honestly, it is actually a movie which, like, I can understand why it was made. Like, it has such a low budget. I think people should appreciate the fact that such a low budget movie was actually made. But then the incompetence is so bad in this movie. I still don't understand how some people are praising it. It just makes me wonder if people have selective blindness.
It's not
I
just
really
that.
don't
I
Maybe
know.
think
no. Maybe we are
we just
blind.
watch film. No, we watch films with a very different. Is it narratively coherent? Is it this? Is it that? जनता को चाहिए 15 मिनट मेरे को मैं हंस लिया बहुत है.
Sir, my theater was full. When I walked out of the theater, I talked with a couple of people. All of them were like, my head is spinning. Number
Sir, you
one,
are
my head
speaking
is
to all
spinning.
Bhadralok, all
No, sir.
intellectual people.
No, sir. I live in Jalpaiguri. Not everybody is an intellectual. Number one is
Shade
number
on
one is,
Jalpaiguri.
yeah. Number one is the fact that I have a headache. Number two, ये last में क्या हुआ? That is the basic thing. Full खिचड़ी बना दिया.
Okay.
Yeah, so
वरुण धवन का
that's
कैमियो
it.
है ना मूवी में.
Yeah. Varun Dhawan.
Maybe it's
cameo.
connected,
Oh my
no?
god,
It's the
spoiler!
way-
Oh my god, spoiler for everybody. Whoever gives a flying fuck. Spoiler for everyone.
Okay, fine. You don't need to be that
No, but
unenthusiastic about
because we
it.
are on Munjia, people who have not watched Tumbad in a theater, the film is
Oh,
supposed
yeah,
to
it's
be
replaying.
releasing theatrically. So please go and watch it. Fantastic movie. If it releases here, I'm dragging my mother for it.
Best horror film I have seen from
Incredible.
India.
I think
Which
even
is very,
Munjia
I
will have.
know.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, which is very faint praise. I know, like it's, but like, still, it is terrific or incredible
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
No, and it's. I think Munjia also borrows from the same writer that Tumbad takes some inspiration from, which is the Marathi folk writer
Okay.
Ratnakar
Yeah,
Makkari.
Okay. Chris Patrick is saying that Prithviraj I think you had said yes. Again, Chris, I
I
think
don't
you.
think acting is the object in that film.
He's wearing a
So I
mask.
think this is the Tumbad enthusiasm, I think.
Yes.
So yes. Anyways, we are done with all this. Can we go to Hitman
From
now?
bad boys to a singular bad boy.
Yeah.
Mm,
As
yeah,
Hemant said, I don't want to repeat. Should I repeat that?
From complete adrenaline rush to complete adrenaline fart. Like,
Wow.
It's not a fart, man. Come on, it's not that.
It is a fart. It's like somebody told Richard Linklater, make a noir pastiche. He's like, I'll make a before sunrise noir pastiche. And I'm like, what are you doing?
You वरुण को गुस्सा आ जाएगा सर आराम से. Before sunrise मत mention करो please. Anyways.
No, it doesn't matter. The
Anyways,
joke
no.
here is that I
who-
don't like Before Sunrise. It is
Yes.
a really boring movie. But
Anyways,
I'm glad
before-
to see two Western people discovering themselves in a Western country as opposed to coming to India and
In a
discovering.
European country.
Thank
a
you.
European country.
Is that dig at eat drink?
Eat, drink,
What was
pray,
it?
love.
They get even Ye Jawani Hai
Drink,
Diwani.
pray,
I'm like,
Eat,
you went
drink,
to Manali
pray,
and you figured out your
love,
life.
vomit. I think that was the modification, right? So, anyways, achha, you're taking a dig at another Dharma production. Okay, fine. Anyways,
No, just दिल चाहता है भी मान लो चलो.
अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, anyways, let's go to Hitman. Varun, introduce us to Hitman, Richard Linklater's Hitman, which Netflix butchered the release of. So yeah,
How
we
will
can.
butcher the release?
I think this is
Okay,
the
so
first
it-
time I think this is the first time I actually agree with Netflix when they did not give a theatrical release to the movie. I'm like,
Amartya,
chalo.
you liked the film, okay? You are
I
saying
like it.
You
I
liked it
like
more
it.
than both of us, actually.
I like it for a couple of reasons, but I'm always going to say this, and I said this in the first line of my review itself. A theatrical release means people will stop looking at the flaws of the movie because they want communal experience. Fuck off.
No,
Communal
I was.
experience.
Anyways, it's for what it's worth. Hitman has. I'm not the cinema viewing person, but it really, you'll not lose anything watching it at in your
Nothing.
laptop, at
Nothing.
your
I
laptop.
promise you.
Nothing.
I promise you.
It's not visually interesting. Also, actually, it's a bit
That's
flat
not.
in that way. Uh,
Again,
It's a
for all.
typical American suburban
No, no.
2020s
That's
movie,
no,
in a
which is
sense.
why.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It is a typical American suburb movie of the early 2000s.
Yeah.
It is sexy. It has sex scenes, which is why the movie is so successful because
It
Americans are so
has
sex
I
starved these
don't think
days.
it's. I don't think it's
two
successful because of that.
mild sex scenes in it. Like it's not
उसमें
Sex
भी वो
even.
scenes
voice over कर रहा है.
and it's
Okay, yeah, we'll
chemistry
get to that.
and there is
They do
chemistry.
have good chemistry, yeah.
They do have
Anyways,
great.
Better
no,
than him and Sydney Sweeney, I felt.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but
100%.
I'm gonna firstly address the whole what I said about the Netflix thing. So it premiered at Venice last year in 2023.
September.
Then
Yes.
then it got the North American premiere at TIFF, Toronto International Film
Toronto,
Festival,
yeah.
which is where Netflix acquired it for $20 million. So like they paid money, proper money for it to position it as something which they can market and release a little bit. And in fact, when you do this, you would assume it's not. Of course, I don't think this would have been nominated for anything, but I would assume that they would have taken it and then wanted to push it around, for the award season. At least Glenn
At
Powell,
least
I
for like your
suppose.
Spirit Award and your
Yeah,
Critics'
yeah,
Choice and your
yeah.
basic your Tier B awards, if you want to call
Yeah,
them.
and it was like the buzz when it played at TIFF was very positive, right? I think people were looking forward, and Richard Linklater's not made a film in a while, right? When is the last film? No, he made Apollo 11 and a half. 2022, never mind. No, but it's also very different types of film, right? He is someone who is adept at making a wide variety of films. Apollo 11 and a half, I don't know how many people watched. In
That's
terms
also
of
Netflix, by the way.
that's also Netflix, but that's that I can understand that's more of a niche because it's touching at his past in Austin, Texas, I think, when during this late 60s, early 70s. So but in this, I think I was surprised that then the buzz sort of just died down after TIFF. It sort of got lost in the scuffle somewhere, and then it released as Netflix usually does in select theaters. May 24. Select theaters
Qualifying it.
means I think this
Qualifying it
one
for the
released in
awards
more
run.
places than New York and LA. Otherwise, their select theaters means that only. But
Couple of Alamo Drafthouse theaters and a
No,
couple of select AMC
Linklater
theaters.
has a proper European
Yeah.
audience also, right? So they'll have
yeah.
released it. Maybe one theater in Paris will have shown it, one theater in Berlin will
सर
have shown it.
इसीलिए तो Before Sunrise इतना हिट हुआ ना proper European audience.
Amartya making fart jokes was not on my ear. Nice, Amartya. You've ticked off something from someone's bucket list.
But I think
it's on somebody's bucket list.
Venice and TIFF is also when the buzz for Maestro starts building up to that crescendo that it finally peaks
maybe
at.
they
So
prioritize.
Netflix wouldn't have and two clashes. You don't want to. They're not clashing films, but you don't want to see. You're going
To
to
consider-
figure out.
To give
Marketing
credit to
budget
Netflix.
is one funnel. You're not going to
give
take
credit
money
to
away from
Netflix.
Maestro to put onto Hitman.
Yeah.
हाँ,
To
but
give
जैसे-
credit to Netflix somewhat, I can understand why they would select Maestro. It is the most awards-worthy movie.
Award
they
baity
currently
movie,
had in- Yeah, it currently had in
That decision is very understandable, but I feel just it was this whole feeling that the film did kind of just it felt like the film got lost and then someone or
Yeah, now it
someone
feels
was
like they're trying to capitalize on the anyone but you buzz.
for the Glenn Powell thing,
trying
yeah.
to-
Which I think you bring up a good point, and I'll highlight Devolina's comment, which I've not seen anyone but you, but
It's bad. It's quite bad.
you guys have seen it. No,
I've seen parts of it. I've not
you've seen parts of it. So
Shakespeare,
yeah,
sir. I wasn't going to get into it after a point.
oh, okay.
Not a big fan.
Fine. Except for the Vishal Bhardwaj films.
No, I like his plays. I am a literature student. I've read his
Acha,
plays.
okay.
I
Yeah.
mean that adapting it to a 2020s context is sometimes a bit
Sure, sure.
deadly. Because
Huh, but you guys didn't like it, so I think in comparison, I feel Hitman is like whatever classic Hollywood masterpiece, I
it's also not
suppose.
so much in your face, right? It's not, the marketing has been pretty muted
In
for
your faces and what?
Netflix.
Both of them have pushed into the whole sex appeal of sex appeal of both the leads, right?
Anyone but you went overboard. It took like
But it
five
was
shots
supposed to
or
be a
whatever.
body comedy, right? Body.
It got cut a lot then by them
Really?
only. It
Okay.
looks like it.
Okay.
I mean, because there's nothing in the
Anyways,
film that's
he made
objectionable.
one just last year, right? I'm not sure, Swapnil, what he made last year then. Drive Away Dolls is not him. Drive
Drive
Away
Away
No,
Dolls
Dolls
Drive
is
Dolls
is
is
Ethan
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 Cohen.
Cohen.
Cohen,
Yeah,
Ethan
Drive Away
who is
Cohen.
Dolls is
different from Ethan
that is
Cohen.
one bad movie, man. That is
अरे
one
देखने
bad
दो
movie.
सर, देखने दो, रुक जाओ.
You won't like it, but I'm pretty sure you will hate it. It's not just directed. Is it just directed by him? Written by his
It's written by
He
him
met
and his
partner?
Rishabh,
wife.
Yeah,
his wife.
who are in an open like their relationship is a bit whatever.
Doesn't matter, not a
Yeah.
What
topic
have you
for
been
today.
reading?
No, because that was a point. No, that was that was the whole basis of the production. They made it during a time to get together during the COVID time. Essentially, when she has a partner, like I think she identifies. Anyways, doesn't
Why are
matter.
we going in this?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay.
I called into
Chris,
question Dhru's research.
yes. No.
That is what-
Chris.
I
No.
call
You
it
can listen to
question
this.
the digression.
Yes,
But
Chris Barrett. My hot take is Glenn Powell looks AI generated to me.
Sir, that is
No,
Ranveer,
actually,
sir, that
Sydney
is
Sweeney
Ranveer
looks
Kapoor.
more-
That is Ranveer
Sydney
Kapoor
Sweeney
in Two
looks more
Jhooty Mein
AI
Makkar.
generated.
That is Ranveer Kapoor in Two Jhooty
In
Mein
Tu
Makkar.
Jhooti
Not
Mein
Glenn.
Makkar, yes.
Yes.
By the
He
way, I
looks more
saw
like Dennis
Apollo
Rader in
11.
this, the BTK guy.
That
With
is
the
not
hair.
No, but
a bad
Apollo 11 and a half
comparison.
actually is a good. Yeah. I think we'll talk a little bit about that also when we're talking about this. Anyways,
No, but on the Netflix topic, I want to quickly address this.
yeah.
Mike Flanagan's recently given an interview which has gone around a bit, and
Okay.
he's talked about
Is
how
the physical
Netflix is
media? Is this the
not
physical
just physical
thing?
media stuff. He said filmmakers have to realize that Netflix is not interested in your cinema. It is not interested in making good cinema. It's interested in driving up its existing subscriber base.
Yeah.
And anything that does not pave the path for that is not going to be,
Has
treated
his-
with. Hitman is not going to drive up like 50,000
Ha-
subscribers.
I don't. But has his Netflix contract finished or what?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
That's
why
why he said
that is
it.
why he's
Okay,
talking.
fine.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
because
fine.
also this has been an ongoing thing, right, between the
Yeah.
streamers and the producers, that we want you to put out physical media. I think Apple is the rare streamer that's at least willing to come to the table and talk
वो
about
जब
physical
तक
media.
पैसे की बारिश हो रही है
जब
तब
तक
तक
पैसे
yes.
की बात बात हो रही है, yeah.
No, but people are willing to buy physical media also, right? Because there is a thing that if tomorrow this content is not licensed anymore, it's just gone.
Yeah.
It's the Kindle argument. I buy the books I like on Kindle because Kindle allows you a license to read.
So I think
that book.
Debulina is saying there's another Glenn Powell film coming out, Twister.
Oh yeah,
Twister,
right?
yeah.
The
It's a
remake of
disaster
That's
movie.
ano-
remake
another
of the Dennis
si-
Quaid movie.
Is it
Dennis
okay?
Quaid.
It's another summer movie, right? I think it's releasing.
I mean,
I'm
it looks
not
more
sure
like
I'll
a
say that,
song.
Debulina, considering the timing of these films' releases. I think Hitman will be up. I know some people really like it, but I think it might be forgotten by whatever the next in the next 2 months.
Definitely.
So, anyways, I think we can go to the film
Will be
itself.
forgotten
I
by
think
July when Deadpool versus Wolverine comes out.
I think so.
Oh God,
Anyways,
there's
but
that also.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no. Let's go to the film finally. Sorry for whoever has been
Half an
here
hour.
and not have and we've not started even talking about Hitman. But I hope you enjoyed the digression.
I mean, this was filler conversation because honestly, there's not much to say about the movie.
No, there is.
There is. Actually, there is. There is. something
Anyways,
to talk about. There's a
it's
reason why I
based-
like the movie.
Yeah, it's based on Skip Hollandsworth article in Texas Monthly
Texas
Magazine
Yeah.
in
Way back,
October
early
2001, also titled Hitman, and it's about this. And Chris told me to correct you, Amartya, about this. He's not a sociology professor. He's a philosophy and a psychology professor. So because I think your
Okay,
review notes that it's a sociology, so he's a sociology professor. Anyways, it's about
He's
a
teaching
professor.
English. He's
Chris, I will
English
correct it.
psychologist.
Chris, I will correct it. I have just one question. does it make a difference in the film script?
It does. It does because
Why?
he's
Because it's
no,
pointing out ego and superego.
no, sir. Itna bhi
Okay, okay,
basic picture.
okay. Before that, the
Because that's the
film,
extent.
the,
That's the
the
extent it's willing to go.
Lord Swapnil, good ones. Any good movie is remembered after 2-3 months, I think. But
Merry
anyways,
Christmas. I am
Merry
seriously talking about
this
that.
is substandard Merry Christmas for me, or like
This is the
even one
please
less.
don't compare the two. Please let's
I
not
No,
do
no,
will
that.
Badami
list you
Hainer, Badami
the
Hainer Kobole, Badami Hainer Kobole. You have Atom, you have Premalu.
yeah
People will
There are
remember
people
even
still.
Avesham.
Avisham also, yeah.
Avisham people will remember, yeah.
Anyways, okay, the
Tall guy.
film Varun. What is? Oh my God, what is the? No. Varun, what is the film about? And what?
So
How much does it draw from the article? You've read half the article, so I
half the
can
article.
ask
I
you.
mean, you've
Yeah,
read more of it, surprisingly.
I've read
He's
the full
both of you
article.
have done
Yeah,
more, both of you have done more research than I have.
no, I read
So
it before seeing the movie. So, anyways,
movie. Yeah, so the article is basically about this guy called Gary Johnson, who in New Orleans is this guy who works with the district attorney's office or the county attorney's
is he in
office.
New Orleans? He's in Houston, no?
No, New Orleans. In the film, at least, it's
In the
in New
film,
Orleans.
he's in New Orleans. In
Yeah.
the actual
In
thing,
the
it's
article,
in.
yeah, it has
There
to be
is no,
Texas. Otherwise, it would be of no.
there is no discerning anything which makes it like different from any other
That's
American
true.
suburb.
That's true.
No
क्या चाहिए
discerning, nothing.
lantern, pumpkin lantern, New Orleans,
चाहिए था. Yeah, jazz music. Yeah, jazz music.
or just John Favreau walking down the street eating beignets.
You had to introduce the film, Varun. I will
Yeah.
remind you.
So Glenn Powell plays this guy called Gary Johnson, who's a sociology and psychology professor at the University of
Yeah.
New Orleans. I'm talking about the film, not about the article.
Yeah.
And that's his day job, and he works part time with the police department of the city. And what they do is entrap. His job is essentially to tool around with electronics, very much like Aryan in Doom 2, not the actual Aryan that we know. And he sort of actually it reminded me a little of The Conversation over there, which is a film we quite like here. And
Mentioning
This
this
is
is
ज़्यादा ही हो गया.
in reference to Hitman. But okay,
surveillance tech, right? That's
fine.
what
I
I'm
can't
getting.
mention Merry
Sir, he's
Christmas, but
better-
हम
sir, he's
conversation
better
mention
than-
करेंगे.
Sir, he's better than me. I reference double indemnity.
Anyways, go ahead.
So, and one day it turns out that the guy who has been posing as a hitman and scoring all these convictions for the police department has been found guilty of attacking some teenagers and just being a bad cop, and he's been suspended for something like 120 days, which is presumably 4 months. Why not just say 4 months and leave it at that?
Okay,
120 days.
Doesn't
Varun,
matter
but
anymore.
don't, yeah.
No. So they decide snap judgment. Let's get this guy to do it instead, and he becomes the guy who then starts to entrap all these people by recording the conversations he's having with them. And in the midst of this, he lets one woman go because he thinks she's really pretty and doesn't want her to get trapped in the whole
Soft
thing.
लौंडा है बंदा.
And
What do you want?
and the
me
next thing you know is that in his avatar as a professional hitman, he's dating this woman until things go south. That's the film. The film takes a long time to arrive at that woman.
Yeah, about 40 minutes, I think. But anyways, let's do initial thoughts without spoilers, and then we'll go dive into spoilers. So, Amartya, you can go ahead first, I think.
रोस्ट तो कर दिया उसने पिक्चर को.
No. I just said it's an adrenaline fart. Doesn't mean that the movie, I don't like the movie as such. I think I understand.
I have to highlight this. Thank you. Chris, you don't need to be this nice. I needed to highlight this just for these two. But okay. Anyways. Bolo.
No,
bolo.
but the thing is, if somebody, I don't know if somebody like didn't notice this, but I did. I do think that Linklater is basically homaging. At this point, he's homaging noirs, classic noirs. At this point, he's homaging.
There's a
And it's
video. I'll link that video also. There's some video in which he's listed some of the. I mean, in the film also he cites them.
Sir, he has
officially.
put I think, hold them high. He has put a Colt is my passport. He has put double indemnity. There were shots of those movies.
Sure.
Like, I could identify at least 4 or 5.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
fine. But I think the
At least they
basic
got in the film, quite like something else we recently watched. Sugar reference.
yeah, I will dump on that. Don't
Guys,
worry.
Hitman, guys.
But the thing about this movie, what I thought, at least for the idea of it, it kind of reminded me of Paul Thomas Anderson's Inherent Vice to a certain
Hmm.
degree. Because once you
Sorry.
get past that phase through,
Yeah.
I think the Inherent Vice comparison is because I think Anderson too is basically homaging noir in that movie, but he's homaging it to a different angle. He's homaging
Very,
it to a
he's
Haze
doing
of
the
Drugs.
70s noir
Yeah,
that too. Very,
he's doing
very.
slacker noir, which Long
Yeah.
Kiss Goodnight. He's basically
Remind
homaging
me of Big
Altman.
Lebowski a
Does
little
it
bit
better
also.
than Altman, I feel.
I can't say that. I don't think so. But anyway, I
Hitman. Huh.
but I think here Linklater is trying to do his own noir pastiche, but also through a lens very specifically his own. It's like this is his version of slacker noir, except his slackers are more conversational slackers.
Yeah.
It's like people who talk, people who have long-winded conversations. They could be about nothing, they could be about something. You know,
Let
fill
me
in the
be
gaps
very
with the movies.
honest. One of the big problems I think of the film for me is most of the time they're not about nothing.
They're
Actually,
about
they're
something.
always about something, and that is
Yes.
a bit of a limitation for me. But anyways, go ahead. Yeah.
Fill in the gaps with the movies of Linklater, which one is about nothing, one is about something. You get the idea, but
Yeah.
it's all through that lens, and that is why there is almost a laid back quality, kind of like a surfer dude type of a laid back quality to it. Remind you that is not half a bad idea on paper if you think
Yeah.
about it. I mean, Altman did slacker noir. It's fine, you can do the idea, but again,
Hmm.
if you are taking noir, I have a basic problem. The problem is that I'm making a thriller, right? At the end of the day, if I'm going
Yeah.
to make it a thriller, and if I'm going to make a movie whose ending is supposed to be existential dread, that
Hmm.
I'm in love with a woman so much that I'm going to do everything in my power to ensure that happens. So you're basically homaging double indemnity. I get that, completely get that. The problem is, give me the feeling, because noir at the end of the day is about cynicism.
Yeah.
Noir at
Hmm.
the end of the day is about looking objectively and dejectedly at the human condition, looking at how far it has fallen,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay,
aesthetically
but
or
then
otherwise.
isn't noir at cross purposes with the American dream that's been peddled to us for the last like 40
Hasn't
years?
that always been the case?
No, because in when noir really takes off in the mid 40s and 50s, in that post-war dread, first of all, there's nuclear Armageddon hanging over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
the Holocaust, which you're perpetually thinking about because it
yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
looms over that
Mm-hmm.
next decade. So that
Mm-hmm.
cynicism is very authentic to that era. But we also live in a
Can I
post-nuclear
counter that?
age.
Yeah, can I counter that? I think
Hmm.
the American dream, which you are talking about, kind of is like a response to that. It's kind of like the
Yeah.
Reaganomics era of version of that.
Hmm.
So my point is, if you're going to take the Reaganomics edition and then like introduce noir into it, it's a very weird,
Yeah,
mix
because it doesn't
anyway.
hold up.
It doesn't hold
No,
up.
I feel what you guys are saying about you can apply this, and there is a movie in here, I think, which will dial up the cynicism and the sort of
Mm-hmm.
morbidity of this whole thing where
But you,
people are going and contracting a killer. Like there's so many people, despite knowing that he potentially even knowing his identity, go
Hmm.
but
and
you
just
equal
have these casual reasons
I
of
think there was a great comment to be made there about American the idea that
exceptionalism to a
everything
certain
can
degree.
no everything there's a service for everything,
yeah.
Yes,
right? There's a
exactly.
service to deliver something to your home. There's a service to deliver something
There is
somewhere
a movie that
else.
there is a movie that did talk about it, not very well. It's called The Killer. But anyway, yeah,
It's better than this, but okay, fine.
yeah.
For
Yeah,
But
me,
no,
different
though.
my
movies
So,
entirely.
yeah.
I
no,
enjoy
no,
it
I
much
get
more.
that.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But I'm saying that what you are talking about, that movie basically comprised the entire movie about
Yeah.
that only. Yeah, capitalism basically
Yeah.
influencing even within Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this movie is kind of commenting on the fact that the hitman as a concept doesn't exist, which I'm like, okay, that's an interesting premise to
Yeah.
hold anyway, which is
Then
fine.
what about that takla with a barcode on the back of his head?
So that's a game. I love that game. Kuch nahi keh sakte. But
Oh my god.
yeah, but
Good
again,
reference though.
great
Bomb
reference. But
बोलो
the no, but the
बोलो
thing about it is कि I can understand how you can do something about it. My entire problem is, even if you're going to dial up every emotion, or even if you're going to do stylistically something, give me some energy, dude. Give me something. I
it
don't
is
feel
it is
anything.
it is quite flat, I think, which is
It
the
is
big
extremely
issue.
flat.
Yeah.
Give me something. You are making a noir, you are making a black comedy. People are raving about it, is saying it's a black comedy. Black comedy में तो कुछ तो होगा ना भाई.
It's
Yeah.
कुछ
not
तो
funny
comedy
enough to be a
होगा.
black comedy. It's not
There are
weak enough to
moments
be black
there are
really in
moments
that
of
sense.
genuinely good comedy, I think, like inspired, that I think everyone's mentioned the
But
Notes app
comedy is
sequence.
consistency also, right?
नहीं है
I
Sorry,
think there is also, I
which
think there is a
sequence?
fact.
the Notes app sequence, essentially,
Yes.
the when he's
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the very screwball premise of the whole thing,
We are
right?
into spoiler
No,
territory.
no,
See,
I'm
here's,
not mentioning
see,
the
here's
specifics
also,
of it right now. I'm
see,
going to ask
here's
for
also the
initial
fact that, here's also the fact that it's a movie. If this was a better movie, it would have actually highlighted, the existence of the femme fatale and how you're romanticizing the femme fatale because she is so sexy. It can also be a commentary on American viewers' own concept about how sex infantized all American movies are. That we are ready to ignore the femme fatale concept overall just so that we can get some titillation. There is
Yeah,
commentary to be made here.
yeah.
If you read Linklater's interviews anyway, you can understand that that's what he's trying to say. My point is, if you're going to say that in the interviews, man, just put that in the movie. Problem क्या है?
It probably did. It's just that it's not converted into
Yeah, so
something
you are
concrete.
so
Yeah,
either you did not do it or you're not conveying it right to me, which I'm like,
Right.
okay.
yeah,
It's like the scene towards the end. I'm not getting to spoilers here, but it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
scene towards the end. Like that scene on paper should be like complete and utter dread. In the better noirs that he's clearly pastiching, or in all other noirs, especially when you see scenes like that, your first reaction will be "Oh f," and then your second reaction will be "Oh
Okay,
okay."
so
Now,
I have a question for you there.
huh.
Is it the
Tiptoe
fact
around
that the
spoilers, huh?
yeah, is it the fact that you remember when we all I think gone on first day to watch Merry Christmas?
Hmm.
There's a thing that when you're in a theater, there's no looking ahead. You can't go up to the projectionist and say, "आगे का 4 frame दिखा दे मेरे को." It doesn't
हाँ,
work like that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But on a streamer, you can just skip ahead.
yeah,
yeah.
I think somewhere the fact that such a film is on a streaming platform means that somewhere perhaps he only took the relevance of the suspense out and said, okay, we don't need that because in any case somebody can skip forward and figure it
No,
out.
but it's
Whereas
very
I don't
every
think
lackadaisical.
noir,
Linklater.
no, every
I don't
noir
think.
we are talking about,
Yeah,
Billy Wilder did not make his films to be watched on television because Billy Wilder didn't
yeah.
make films when films went on to television.
I don't think
Double
Linklater did
Indemnity,
so either. I don't
I
think
don't know.
Linklater
I
did so
feel
either.
I found that absence very telling. Like
No,
as
that
if he
absence
knows
is
that you
there.
can
The
move ahead
absence is
any
there, but
moment.
I don't. You make
I'm
an
wondering
interesting
what
point.
dictates.
हाँ,
I'm
you
No.
make
wondering.
an
I think
interesting
I
point,
think
but
your question. I think your question and your point. I think is very valid. I agree with you that the suspense is completely out there. I think he took that as a feature.
yeah,
I think his commentary on noir, because at the end of the day, this is what it is. It's like a commentary on noir, kind of. It's a
yeah,
weak ass commentary, but it's a commentary on noir.
yeah,
But it's like if you are doing commentary on noir, you are taking the suspense out. By taking the suspense out, you are taking elements of what makes that genre interesting in the first place.
It's
I don't
trying to
want
marry
that.
the noir and the noir aspect of cinema and the feel-good American family
almost
drama aspect.
screwball. No, it's like a marriage of two different sort of genres of classical
Again,
Hollywood, I feel. Yeah,
you can do that. Again, you can do that. The Coens did it. You can do that.
yeah.
Coins does it all the time.
Yeah,
There
but
is
They
a
mix and match, yeah. But
they
then their
mix and
tone
match,
is,
but
huh.
they're not
No, but
going for the family drama
they
territory
are
at any point, for instance,
they
right?
are much more. But
Adult
this is the
oriented.
R-rated,
it's
so
R-rated. Family drama
Which is
है
why I
किधर?
don't get it, right? Which is
Huh.
when it's R rated, when you're not appealing that rating, or you're not opting in for an unrated part,
Hmm.
why the charade with I will lapse into an Americana sort of,
that's his thing. I
dream
feel though, like
suburb.
in general.
I
I mean
feel the
that's
film gets lost because I get
Okay.
that
yeah.
it's a thing that a filmmaker may want, but ultimately, is it in service of your story? And if it
Again,
doesn't
if
sit
this
there,
is
it
Linklater,
becomes
Okay,
If
so
we are
let me
going to
just.
look at if we are going to look at Linklater's entire filmography as his thesis statement on America, now, I think if this is Linklater's statement on 40s to 50s America, now, I think he misses the point.
I don't think it's on the 40s and 50s. He's just transplanting it to a newer generation. But
Yeah, so
no, no,
if you're
I've.
transplanting it also, like if you're going to make it into a quote unquote neo noir or whatever the hell, I think
Yeah.
you basically, in your effort to comment,
Hmm.
you're basically taking out everything else. The
Sure.
only reason why I enjoyed the movie is number one because I genuinely think that Glenn Powell has charisma. I think he does have charisma when
Yeah.
he's disguising as the hitman. When he's Gary Johnson, he has no charisma. Now
which
I
is,
don't know whether
yeah,
that is intentional. I think it might be
I think it
No,
intentional.
no, no,
is.
no, no. The no correct. Okay, wait. I'll get to this later. But I'm just gonna. What on your
Yeah,
initial
yeah.
thoughts or whatever? Just
I just
quickly
want
sum
to
it up.
address something Debolina has said, that
Huh.
noir, the color of noir. I don't agree, because neo noir is pretty colorful. I'll give
Yeah.
you 4 films if you want to, maybe consider.
I think noir
Chinatown
movies is
by
like
Roman Polanski, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang by Shane Black,
Yeah.
Inherent Vice by Paul Thomas Anderson, and The Nice
Drive.
Guys
Collateral by
also by.
Michael Mann. Collateral by
Drive
Michael Mann.
by
Collateral is
Michael.
actually pretty black, and so is Drive.
It
No,
is
it's got
black,
Nice
but it's
Guys
blue,
is
also
no?
super colorful.
it's
Steely
Los
blues
Angeles. It's Los
and
Long
Angeles
Goodbye.
pretty exclusive.
It's
Long goodbye,
washed
yeah,
out, quite colorful
yeah,
though.
yeah.
So
Top
No,
Gun
no,
Maverick. I think you guys are also
no, no.
fans of
I
that's
it,
his
think,
right?
calling
So
card, I think, at
yeah.
this
I
point.
think,
And
I think
getting punched in The Dark Knight Rises.
noir movies, yeah, noir movies aren't just black and white. I think noir
No.
movies is more about contrasts, like
Yeah, noir is about
contrast
shadow. It's about,
with
the word in
shadows.
French
Which
means
it
black.
is, which this is identity masking shadows,
Sure,
like
but
in
I
that
mean,
sense. Yeah.
visually it is pretty
No,
empty.
no.
That's
Yeah.
I
what I
know
think
that.
is
I'm saying that thematically it
starting.
makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Huh.
But starting quibble
Kuch
with the
zyada
film
ही
is,
it makes sense.
visually
Kuch
it
zyada
is
ही it makes
That is
sense.
like
also
a
true.
something I expect to be seeing on a straight to DVD kind of, it's got that very, very, very basic. It reminded me of this film I watched last year called Confess Fletch. It stars John Hamm and
Yeah,
Ah, yes.
it's a reboot of the Fletch series, which had Chevy
How
Chase
was
in
that?
this. Yeah.
Not good?
It's
it was like this, forgettable.
Okay.
kind of funny, but yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
it kind of felt like that. And much as I liked uh, Glenn Powell,
Okay.
and I thought he had great chemistry with the lead actress. I'm going to mispronounce her name, so I'm not going to risk saying it.
Arya Ariona,
Okay,
basically.
it's too much.
Yeah.
And I felt somewhere the film was going too much into the territory of, I've been there, I've seen that. The bad cop, for instance. I was like, yeah,
Sure.
he looks like, he is a junkie by day and a cop by night, or a cop by day and a junkie by night. I don't trust him at all.
Yeah.
That way, the film was so staple, and then it had no suspense to at all.
Sure.
So I was like,
Yeah.
why not just make a straight, ripped from the headlines kind of movie instead of this? Let me also give you a voiceover. Let me do. I felt it was doing too much, and at the
Sure.
same time, not doing any of it
No, no.
particularly well.
Yeah, like if you're
Sure.
going to do a voiceover, which is easily a callback to noir, at least matlab, if you want to make it like contrast, like let the voiceover be full of cynicism, but let the visuals be so happy, so fun.
Yeah.
That would have been much more hilarious in a certain regard, at least.
There's a
But again,
flatness, I think, in general to the tone only. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
as you guys have said, I think, like, I'm remembering films like some really terrific films by older films, of course, these are not noirs, but like, okay, sorry, I'm going to mention him again. Malik's Badlands or Agnes Varda's Leben Here, which is Happiness. These are films which are about a sort of over saturated, over bright, even reality that seems very happy on the surface, or mythic almost on its surface, but underneath it, everything is sort of corrosive and corroded, and these films sort of play around with that idea. I firstly never felt that with Hitman, and I think
I think Hitman tries to be so much, right? Hitman tries to comment on noir. Hitman also tries to be superficial enough because it is a summer fun movie for the American audience who wants the old days back, quote unquote.
yeah,
I'm
because
like,
Glenn
you
Powell's
can't
great
do
at
that.
doing impersonations, right? Which is a
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
very
is
good
half the
Glenn
movie.
Powell, Glenn
No,
Powell
like
is
American Psycho wala thing, I thought
Glenn
was
Powell is
very, very
Patrick
funny.
Bateman. Glenn Powell is Tilda Swinton, which, by the way,
What was the Tilda Swinton one? What's
it's
The
the
half
English
name?
Tilda
accent.
Swinton, half Anton Chigurh.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah. But yeah, he's so I think we'll go to spoilers in general, but I think for me, I think the hype of the film by, I think a lot of publications sort of did the damage more for me also, because I was just like, I like, because I'm fairly ambivalent on Richard Linklater's films actually. I don't know how much of this qualifies as a critique, but I find his films too American. In the sense that I
And
mean,
we know you're not fond of brightness, so sunrise वगैरह आपको पसंद ही नहीं आ सकता.
वो देखी नहीं है सर मैंने ना मैंने before
Save
सीरीज नहीं
yourself.
देखी है.
See,
No,
see,
I'm very excited to watch
I
that.
kind of agree. See, I kind of agree with your statement. The only movies of Linklater which I like are the Before trilogy, because I genuinely think that
No,
those
as in
movies have a point. Those
I
movies have a
like
point.
I like Dazed and
Selfie is
Confused.
great
No,
in that,
no,
the
one of
first
the
one.
good, one of the great things about I think him is that he, despite centering his films a lot on people and cultures who I don't generally like. Let me just say that very like something like
Guess
everybody
who's
wants
not
some.
getting the US visa renewed.
Okay, fine. No, like everybody wants some is about like a frat house, like
Yeah.
one day in the life of a frat house. I'm just like don't care about these people in general, but he is a good enough filmmaker to make those characters interesting. Like to me, that's the mark of whatever. He's a very adept and Apollo 11 and 10, is it 10 and a half?
10.5.
10 and a half. So Apollo 10 and a half, I think, is very interesting because it's like sort of has this nostalgic view of the past, but it also like undercutting it with like these other tensions that are there at that time. Which again, like this is the sort of thing which I think Hitman needed more, like the balancing of something super
Yes.
bright but then super cynical, also sort of going beneath it.
There's
I'm
also very
very
little night time in this movie.
No,
I'm very
there is balance. Like there is balance that is in the script. It needed energy, which it does
energy.
not
Yeah,
have.
it is directed very like
Laid back.
standardly.
It's
Yeah.
very laid back, and I'm like,
It's like, yeah, we did one take, we did two takes, okay, moving on.
No,
But
like the
he-
cutting is
he-
no, the cutting is quite nice. Like the short reverse shots aren't like it's not like it's not like Nolan. Let's just say that Nolan is not a good short reverse shot person. I think, but like in this, there's like when he knows
That's
when
also
to
because
cut.
your framing is disrupted by an 80-pound camera.
I mean, he like that's not his strong suit. There are other strong like there's millions of strong suits the guy has, But
They're
like
just holding Cillian Murphy's suit up on a hanger to simulate his shoulder while doing his OTS because he's like, "Kaan baj rahe mere, kya ho raha hai?"
I can't
No.
even
Anyways, my
imagine
point is
taking those
not.
taking those IMAX cameras and shooting it directly in front of your face, and you have to act. I'm like, how the hell are you concentrating?
My point with the Linklater thing was simply that I think the reason why a lot of people have compared it to classical Hollywood filmmaking in many ways is because it is like the laid back thing is there, but even the cutting and the way the shots are taken are much more,
I think that's
scaled
also because
in a
the
way.
definition of classical Hollywood has changed. People say classical Hollywood today.
Sir,
and they're talking
classical
about new
Hollywood for all these people is the 80s.
No,
Post
I'm
new
talking-
Hollywood actually, not even new Hollywood. It's
Yeah,
post new
this
Hollywood.
in this too
Even
he's
talk-
doing before that, no?
I don't know
What
whether he's doing it well
what
enough.
he's
That's the
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
It reminds me of this director called Edward Dmytryk.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah? Very, very workman-like without.
Workman like, yep. 100%.
I watched this
agree.
film he made called The Young Lions. He had
I
Montgomery
haven't
Clift,
seen
he had
that.
Dean Martin, he had Marlon Brando. Clift was the
Yes.
only good thing about that movie.
Who do you think would have been a better suited director for this?
I think someone
Hitman.
for Hitman, I think, oddly enough,
PTA.
Guy Ritchie,
PTA.
very nutty kind of filmmaking he would
I
have done,
think,
but it would have been more
I think
enjoyable.
PTA is perfect for
Yeah, but
this.
PT has made this version. It's not a detective story. It's a love story between a married couple.
Yeah,
He's
Phantom
made his
Thread.
version of
Actually,
it. So.
I wouldn't
Phantom
even
Thread.
mind someone like Nancy Myers having a crack at it because she's done all those very schmaltzy romance movies.
Interesting.
And so, how do
I
you
wa-
frame this
I
kind
was.
of romance?
I think
around
if you want more excitement in terms of rhythm and form, then give it to Wes Anderson. I think because
Yes,
you'll
sir.
have No, because if it's about
His
identity and it's
style,
about
his style
splitting and
will
all this,
overwhelm. His
Todd
style
Haynes ko
will
de
overwhelm.
do, but then he's done whatever
So
that
Todd
Bob
Haynes has done
Dylan.
it already.
So yeah, it's I don't know.
Coens, probably both of them
Coens,
together would have
either
made.
They
Coens or
probably have
TCA. Those are the
sure. No, I'm just
Coens could
asking
have done
because
this in the sleep. Coens could have
huh,
done this
they
Even
in
would
the
have
more for
done
sleep.
that
either
matter,
goofy, or they would have then gone into like that
gone dark.
proper nihilistic
Full,
sort of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
zone.
Barton Fink and the
Fargo
man
has
from the
that
West.
also, right? It's
That
like ultra
Fargo is still
violence
quite
and
funny.
no, but it's
Fargo is still
ultra
funny.
violence
Yes,
and
yes,
buffoonery both sort of put
yes,
together.
coexist in that same world. Yeah.
Huh. Anyways,
For
spoilers,
that matter,
guys.
Noah
We'll
Hawley को दे दो. For that matter, Noah Hawley को दे दो क्या है?
नहीं,
So
ठीक है. I think we'll
पिक्चर बननी चाहिए ना एंड में, वरना नोहाली को दे देते.
okay, guys. Spoilers. Go spoilers from now on. If you guys are still sticking around, which I mean, we've deviated a lot, so I don't know why you will be.
I mean, that's what I'm saying,
But
right? The film is filled with these little possibilities, and then it amounts to, okay, yeah, fine. You have a pair that has some chemistry, but your
no,
villain
but
is
see,
not particularly interesting.
my
Your
I think my big issue is the Glenn Powell performance as Gary. Actually, I think
okay,
I need
elaborate
to
on that.
I think I need to believe in him
See,
as
I did not
Gary.
have that. See, I did not have that much of a problem with it
Nor did I.
because the movies that
Okay.
he's referencing, all those movies kind of had these exceedingly handsome people who pretend that they are nerds, who don't
It's
have
not
any
just
charisma.
about the looks
And I'm
part of
like,
it.
this is Glenn Powell, dude.
No,
This is
it's
Glenn
not
Powell.
just about the looks part of it though. I feel it's also to do with the schlubby mannerisms, or you've got that character. See, also the firstly, Linklater gives that character very little time on his own. I think because Gary gets very little time to be himself. So he's
It's got
essentially
that
always
very accountant type wala, I liked Accountant, Gavin O'Connor's film, for that
with Ben
reason, that he
Affleck, right?
spent so
Yeah,
much time with Affleck's character that
yeah,
even the asides with Anna Kendrick, who's I think she tries to offer him a donut and he looks at her like she's
Yes.
crazy or something.
okay.
It does that. It doesn't make him seem quirky or like a
This
little
goes into that
weird.
mode very quickly. Like
Very
this
quickly.
goes
Like
in the montage
Like
only. The
you need
opening montage sort of skips by, and then we get
that
into
annoyed me.
the
You have
first time
time
he sort
now
of
to
had.
make a film. Like you can cut it out later, but and then if Netflix, I mean, what
No, but see,
considerations of length would you have on Netflix?
I know, but I think my issue was that because I didn't buy him as that character, then the eventual transformation just doesn't work. Because then it's basically like I'm like I never thought he was Gary. I was like he's Ron only.
You know what?
Whoever he's
I
playing
feel like
for.
because they've fictionalized the story anyway,
Yeah,
right? Since we're in spoiler territories, Gary Johnson, now the late Gary Johnson did not
yeah,
commit any murders for real. He was
yes,
actually a pretty solitary guy. He did not.
yes,
He saved someone from a life of abuse, or
yes,
helped them out of a life of abuse, but he didn't get with them or anything. He was
yes.
thrice married and thrice
That is the
divorced.
noir part. That
Yeah,
is
he
the
was
Right?
noir
thrice
part.
married and thrice divorced, which is the
Thrice
whole
divorced.
like there's genuine cynicism.
Yeah.
Like you can make it really really dark
Yeah,
if you
this
want
went
to.
the
Yeah.
American family way. That was the big flaw, right? It has to end with, oh, happy family, and where did we meet? And all pie is good pie.
Are it's not even happy. Are decision to leave. Somebody mentioned decision to leave. Yay.
We didn't mention it, so I mean that's
It's
the
not
whole thing.
forbidden per se. I mean,
I mean the
it's
union is sort of forbidden, na? Cop and
I mean,
whatever,
it's a. I mean,
cop
it's a
and suspect.
forbidden
bol raha
apple
tha,
kind
bol
of.
sangam hoga ki nahi.
I mean, it's a forbidden apple thingy. Yeah.
Uh,
Forbidden fruit, yeah. But
no,
no,
but
I
just
feel
genuinely though, no, I think sorry, just to build on that decision, like yeah, decision to leave, just take that because that's a same suspect and cop and suspect thing,
Full,
which
full, full, full.
which I'm just like, I
Sir,
mean that movie you
I
swoon
want to watch
for
that
both
movie.
of them to be
I have not watched it.
together.
Huh? Spoilers mat do.
हाँ नहीं दूंगा
Beyond
but like anyways there's yeah, that film is overflowing with
That
movement
film is
feeling and
overflowing with
kineticism, like it's
everything.
just going
Yes.
full on, and this is like the total opposite. You like go
It
And
helps me
Park
to
absolutely
see,
the
Chan-wook,
other
we'll
way.
check this
and
box,
Park
we'll check this
Chan-wook, you
box,
can.
check this box.
The one criticism you can give Park Chan-wook is the fact that he has a tendency to over-direct.
Yes,
At least at some point. That is the one criticism you can give him.
yeah,
Richard Linklater under-directs. I'm
yeah.
like, thoda, kuch
There's
to do.
value to that also, but
something.
like in this case it just doesn't work out, I think so.
सर
I
मैं
think
मेमोरिया नहीं बना रहा हूँ ना, अंडर डायरेक्ट इतना मत करो.
No, I mean, well,
it's
okay,
also whether
fine.
I'm invested in the film just on a performance level, on a writing level. No, I'm not. Like, aside from Glenn Powell's character, there's nobody that we spend
Come
time
on,
with.
Swapnil, I'm sorry, but
But we also don't
I,
spend time with him. So
With
exactly
whom?
what we don't spend time with Glenn Powell's character, but we also don't spend time with any of the other characters. I would have liked
yeah, the
the, I
supporting
would have liked
characters were
something with the
very.
acting thing, right? I would have liked them to sort of bake that in earlier. Like if he's going at the University of New
No,
Orleans, if he's teaching something, no, hear me
no, but
out.
it's like
He
no,
probably
but it's
takes an
like
interest and watches the drama club rehearsals and something interesting. Like why? How does he take to acting like a duck to water? That is, oh, one day he just was, and it's such a cop out
voiceover,
to call
sir.
that Daniel Day Lewis, right? It's the
Hmm.
easiest thing to call an actor that even on screen and say, oh, he's a gifted actor. But I'm not buying it. How did he do it? That is your pitch
I
to
don't
me.
think that was the issue for me. Like I think I was like, okay, like he discovers that he's sort of a natural when he's pushed into this scenario, and then again it goes back to the film keeps on harping on about identity, right? Whenever it sort of goes to the
I
lecture
hated
hall and
those
whatever.
cutaways.
No,
That's
those
basically
cutaways I didn't even hate. I was like I tuned out. I'm like
yeah.
get back to the story. मुझे ये नहीं सुनना.
No, no, it's
That's
Literally,
no,
also
it is
because you
it
are
is
going to be going to classrooms now and you are going to be Glenn Powell.
yes, that is
no,
true.
but no, but it's also to do with just it felt to me like the film was like I will tell you now कि हम कौन से stage पे पहुंचे हैं in the character arc of this character
It's like
through the
Amitabh Bachchan
lecture.
in K3G. Guess करो हम कहाँ हैं?
Oh God, that's
It's like
really
that
not the
film.
same thing. Okay.
No, the film is constantly. It's like flashing that meme in front of me. Like Glenn Powell is constantly like, guess करो हम कहाँ हैं in the plot of the film. It felt like that.
Yeah,
Like,
but
okay, I got it.
that's
I'm not as thick as an average American. Netflix goes to
even the
194
identity can
countries.
change thing was introduced so offhandedly. Like the one time I thought it was actually somewhat integrated decently is with his wife, ex-wife, where I was like,
Yes.
okay, they are sort of talking about it in
Because
the
he's
context of
talking
their
to her.
marriage
He's not
also.
talking at her.
At her, yeah.
You can remove, and you can ruminate on that very well. You know how? You have a freaking voiceover.
Even that voiceover was so empty and like it was so
Swapnil,
flat.
I'm sorry, I'm picking a personal fight, I suppose. Yeah, you can't be talking about over direction and then being the champion of a Michael Bay. It doesn't equate here. Choose which one to select.
No. Again.
But yeah,
I'm not even going to
I
go
thought
into a
Michael Bay
comparative
directs
boxing
like it's
book
a
and Michael
sports
Bay. Yeah.
broadcast.
no, he like
40
he
camera
does.
is sub running.
Sir,
No,
Michael Bay is telephoto lens, low angle shot, 360 degree.
can we go
And
back to
I'm
Richard
sorry,
Linklater, guys?
I'm sorry. I'm a teenager at this point. I love those stuff. क्या बोले? Hits me
I
most
think
of the time.
yeah, but I think Chris, out of all the times when those stops happen in the narrative, essentially to tell you what's going on, I feel that one was the one which was most natural out of those.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I was just like, "What are you
And you
doing?" And
know
the
that it is
dialogue is really
natural.
bad. In
And you know that it
in
is
those
natural
scenes.
because it is also the most memed scene out of all of them, other than the
Actually,
Arya Leona scene.
now that I think of it, I'd have liked to see someone like Spielberg, after having had a crack at something like Catch Me If You Can, direct
Do something
this.
with this.
Yeah. It's very sort of
A
I
very
mean,
playful vibe.
but
you can
there's
give this
humor.
to Martin McDonough also, to be honest. So
Of course,
Martin
that would be
McDonough
fun.
would have made him like acerbic to a fault. He would
fair
have-
enough, fair enough, Swapnil. Yeah.
No, I meant to say to Amartya that is it just that we're not used to noir anymore? And so directors are finding these outlets like Sugar and now this. Of course, Sugar went completely belly up at the end of episode 6.
Oh no, but see, no, but what
You are being
sorry,
kind.
just to bring up, I didn't know that we would bring this film up this much, but the thing is that as we were saying that if this is an update in Hitman is a sort of update to the noir genre, like you put it in the new world, like and everything.
It's
Again,
the faulty update. Like it's a
no, but
faulty
like
update.
Decision to
Like,
Leave.
Samsung- Those
you
Samsung
want
phones which get explode, those Samsung phones which explode even after working for 1 month, this is basically that.
No, but it's also to do with if you're updating something, it's also to if you're using technology now, right? You know, we've talked about this. Decision to leave and technology is the whole essay or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
paper you can write on, book you can write on essentially. So it's the ways in which you also adapt it to the times, and I think that's where the film just is very
I feel like it was
unremarkable. I feel.
halfway between something like a hard case crime novel and
Yeah.
halfway between a horrid Henry novel. I was like, decide on something, right? And
Hard
you
case
can't
novel,
do.
I understand. What is the Horrid Henry novel?
Horrid Henry is that kid who's an imp and he just keeps bothering everybody, and just it's
Oh, okay,
mayhem.
okay, okay.
Right?
Understood.
I
Understood,
was like,
understood.
why? Just because he keeps coming up with all these harebrained schemes, and this feels like one very long harebrained scheme that somehow manages to pay off. But the thing is that Gary Johnson put in the work to, look a certain way and be a certain way. And then you get this.
So
In fact,
basically,
another
it's
officer,
basic.
another cop called Gary was, what's his name? Kirsten Dunst's husband. Who's he? What's his name?
Jesse
Jesse
Plemons.
Plemons.
Jesse
Jesse
Plemons
Plemons.
in Game Night.
Game
Oh
night,
my
yes.
god.
I can imagine him playing this character, and it would be the bomb. It
You
would
know,
be nuts.
this is basically Robert Mitchum's Out of the Past crossed with Tom Sawyer.
Explain what that means, Amartya.
If none of you have seen Out of the Past, first of all, highly recommend. It's amazing. Out of the
When is
Past is
that?
what I would like.
When is it a movie of 40s, 50s?
47.
Mitchum.
Okay.
So, Out of the Past is what I would like to call the definition of the greatest hits of the noir. It's what
Sure.
everybody now emulates. Other than Double Indemnity, they emulate Out of the Past.
Yeah.
Okay, so and Meacham himself, because if you guys haven't seen Night of the Hunter, please do. If you guys know who Robert Meacham is, if you guys would know who Robert Meacham is, that guy has some charisma.
He's also
God
the
damn.
OG Max KD for anybody who's
Yes.
watched Cape Fear.
Yes. So that guy has some charisma. So it's like Robert Mitchum's version. It's like Robert Mitchum, who is the typical noir character, mixed with what Varun is talking about, the horrid Henry novel. I'm going back to Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer, if nobody has read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, please do. First of all, read a book. Second of all, please read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and then you will understand that it's like you are basically implanting the noir sensibility into a children's novel, and I'm like, good on you to grow these children up, but that's not how you do it.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So we can go to the praises. I think a little bit. I think we've.
No,
I actually liked Powell. I think
No, I
One
liked
thing
him
is-
too. I just didn't like him as one character. He's
Yeah,
playing a
I
lot
mean-
of them. Yeah.
the original
you liked
character.
him as Sahir, but you didn't like him as Samar.
Let's not go there.
Bolo or Bolo.
So I like that. I like the actress. I think they actually made a good pair on screen.
They made
Yeah.
a good pair. Their chemistry was quite good, and I think she's also very good. She's actually a
Yeah.
good actress. She was good
She's very
in
sharp.
Andor. Yeah, she's good in Andor. She was
Yeah.
very good
How
in
was that?
this.
Okay.
Yeah, so and I genuinely think that this is going to be kind of a breakout role, and I'm happy for that because she's actually does the work here. But again, I think it's a Linklater problem because if she's the quote unquote femme fatale, there is a psychotic nature to her, which is like killing people. The thought of killing people is exciting her, which kind of also should be also, kind of is a
She probed
soft-handed.
that area.
It's kind of like it's a soft-handed way of implicating the sexual connotation of the gun and everything else. You can do that, but then you're also showing the directness by focusing so much on the sex scenes. And I'm like, pick a lane. Either be
So
Or
much
basic.
to
integrate them
have
like
it
much
okay.
better. Just make them come together.
Ah, like
It's
everything
if
that
she has the
happened
thing
in the-
for killing. Why
Yeah.
can't that happen in the bedroom?
Yeah, everything that happened
Right.
in the film, I was just like, I was so like unmoved by it. Like again, as you said, the last moment should be a shock in the sense of the transformation of Gary into Ron or adapting that role of Ron.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
feel anything.
And I'm just like,
It's like that moment, right, when you're playing Uno with somebody and वो बार बार draw 4 पे draw 4 डालते जाता है, it gets boring after a point. हाँ तो
Yes.
डाल यार, अभी हो गया अब. It's like that. You've given, you lost
हम
all
लोग
hope
भी
for
काफी
this.
ये सब कर रहे हैं, ड्रॉ 4 पे ड्रॉ 4. अपना कब खत्म होने वाला है ये बताओ.
But no, it's an
Anyways,
utterly unremarkable film. I think it's just
wow,
that.
what
It's
a
one of
what a what
those.
a episode.
It's
Not
not even
actually.
something to rage about. It's, it's not like it's
No, but I
Yeah,
feel
fighter.
like
this.
yeah, like
I feel
I
this.
like the movie. I like the movie more than these two. But then again, I'm
That
also
You
really
like,
still
doesn't come
complained about it
across.
more.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it
read
doesn't
that,
come
dude.
across because
This is like
because I
Dhruv.
don't have
This
any
is like
energy.
Dhruv saying. This is like Dhruv saying,
Archie's.
I liked Archie's more than all of you, and then complaining about it the most.
सर मैं तो कुछ बोला ही नहीं उस दिन में. मेरा
Please,
खत्म हो गया
please.
था.
दो बार बोल रहे थे
Anyway.
हर चीज.
The thing which kind of shows that Gary Johnson is more and more becoming like Ron somewhat. The character
Like
वो
शाहरुख इन
वाली-
बाजीगर, वो glasses पहन लेता है. हो जाती है बात.
No, but I also think that क्या बाजीगर comparison है. But it's like the only thing that
अब्बास मस्तान से बनवाओ ये, मजा आएगा.
बोलो
that would have
अमरदीप, you say
that would have worked. That would have worked. But no, I do think that the only time you can actually sense that his character is undergoing a change, kind of, is the more he hangs out with Arjun Arjuna's character, Madison, the more you see that his Gary Johnson ka template, his Gary Johnson ka schlappiness is shedding away, and he's becoming more and more confident and more like Ron. Because in one
No,
of those
to
cutaways,
be.
in one of those cutaways, even his students are saying that
Oh
since
yeah,
when did our
that was
professor
not
become
good
Ron?
though. I was just like,
Yeah,
that's such a signpost.
I'm saying I understand what you're doing. You are
Yeah.
showing the eventual fall from grace, but you needed to show it better.
Yeah, show it. Don't post it.
Also, the idea that murder makes you more interesting, like, so the
No,
rest of us are
that's
going to be
the-
boring to see.
That was
No,
a
no,
somewhat.
that's a
Katla-
perverted idea, which I mean, that's the film's calling card essentially. So you need to run with that at least.
Sir, अगर कोई
I can
आदमी
run with it
noir
because
को-
I love movies like this. So
अगर
usually,
I thought you were
अगर कोई
about to
आदमी
make
मुझे
like a
कहता है-
confession. Dubai police would be interested in it.
अगर कोई आदमी मुझे आके कहता है कि मुझे नोयर पसंद नहीं है क्योंकि प्लॉट कन्वोल्यूटेड है, आई वुड हैव बीन लाइक जॉनरा
okay, नहीं,
literacy
नहीं, okay, no. This is in reference to
सबका
a
साथ सबका
conversation.
विकास, sir. Come on.
नहीं होएगा मेरे से. मैं
No, but I think Chris, you bring up an interesting point. I don't. So again, I didn't mind the film, but I also didn't really.
Have you guys?
I don't know. I was just like watching
know.
it. You know, it's like.
On the internet, there's been this meme or whatever you want to call it that's been doing the rounds for a long time. I finished watching a movie thinking what a great movie it is. Then I open the IMDb page and I see its rating. It's that same situation. You finish
Nahin, I
watching
don't-
Das when you're 5 years old and you open IMDb and it's like 4.
मुझे तो लगा 10 होएगा ये.
I also was
Anyways.
hoping that would be the case.
I mean, it's
10
kind
से
of
1 हो गया पर उनके लिए after a rewatch.
No, it's like a 5. It's a solid 5.
अच्छा.
Okay.
Okay. Out of what? 100.
out of 10.
10.
अच्छा. Okay.
He's been kind.
Anyways.
He's
Yeah.
been
Anyways, other thoughts on the film, if any? I mean, I was about to
Because
say
see,
that.
it's not a lazy film. It's not deliberately dumb, which
No.
films are, or like even accidentally dumb.
The
It's
film
just-
isn't dumb. There is no
it
film which is
doesn't
dumb
have-
enough to
No,
put
no.
the
I think-
philosophical gobbledygook it puts
I think
throughout its
Varun's
runtime.
point
No.
that it isn't a lazy
Ramu
film.
makes enough movies and puts quotes in front and back. Okay, बहुत है.
No,
बकवास
Varun's
बना के
point.
Ayn Rand चिपका देता है वो. पागल.
I mean, Varun's point that
Sanjeet
it's not a
Chaku.
lazy film is true. It's not a lazy film, but it is also lazy in that it is intentionally lazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
is.
It is intentionally lazy, and I'm
It
like,
is
if
the
you're
slacker of the slacker.
Ah,
no.
slacker.
And
yeah,
if you're going
made
to
a film.
if you're going to give me lazy, I'm like, if you're going to give me lazy, at least give me a reason why your movie
Yeah, I think
is
that-
a lazy noir.
That's when I think your inherent vice thing makes a lot of sense actually, because
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that film is like you're going on again it's slightly Lebowski like.
hallucinogen trip. Yeah.
Like you're just like going around in the town like with him and sort of just
With him, yeah.
wafting
It doesn't
around like
matter.
and just not doing anything. Everything's going on and
Like
whatever.
for the longest time, mystery in that film doesn't matter because he doesn't have his bearings, right?
Yes.
Please don't talk about who's this.
Ayn
Yes.
Rand.
Ayn Rand.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
not, it's not a swear word. Don't
No,
worry.
You don't
I
like
was
Zack
thinking,
Snyder
yeah.
to You don't like Zack Snyder either, then I'm pretty sure. Snyder loves
Uh,
Rand a bit too much.
Writer of Fountainhead and other such
Masterpieces, quote
masterpieces.
unquote.
Yeah.
Quote
okay.
unquote.
Any other thoughts on Hitman, guys? I think this
No.
might be a
No.
shortest episode,
Can we
which I'm
talk
very
about
glad about.
objectivism versus Iron Man philosophy? I think that's far more
Please.
interesting than
No, sir.
whatever this movie is serving
I
up.
don't even remember. No, I don't even remember what all they were saying. I was like, if I was coming on this live stream, I was like, I'll listen back to all the things they said in that film, like in that lecture hall thingy. I
Lecture.
was just,
Yeah. But what
but
he
yeah,
put, he picked up Friedrich Nietzsche, like the most
Nietzsche.
done to death philosopher. Like everybody from the Nazis to the liberals have used him.
How many philosophers are always used in Hollywood? Like Freud, you have Jung, you
No, so
have
he's
Nietzsche,
very
you have. Who else
no.
is there?
Jung is not a philosopher. Jung is a psychologist, as
no.
is Freud. They're not philosophers.
Yeah,
I
okay. Jung
mean,
and
For
Freud.
for whatever reason, nobody uses Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Nobody uses John Locke. Nobody uses
No.
Bertrand Russell, probably the most contemporary classical philosopher
Yes.
of our time, right? What the nuclear protests in the 50s and
see,
Mm-hmm.
I
fighting a
disagree
little.
with the. See, I think Freud adaptations are fun. They can be very,
I have a movie to recommend to you.
what?
Freud's last session, not
Maximilian.
Pareto.
No, not that one. There's a Freud biopic. I think either Montgomery Clift or
Biopic.
Maximilian Schell plays Freud in that. One of the
I
two.
think I know which movie you're talking about. I don't remember the name.
Patrick, I'm pretty sure that
I'm pretty sure
Sartre
Sartre
and Foucault
Also
both are
done to
used.
death. Foucault are
I mean,
used,
Foucault
yeah.
to Vertigo dekh lo, I think.
Foucault is more for a literary sense of the world and not
Yes.
so much.
But it's a lot to do with, he wrote a lot about something, I forgot, yeah. Like, again, I'm bad with theorists
Also,
to really explain.
Sartre is a terrible human being. Okay, he
Achha,
excused
So it doesn't
Joseph
matter.
Stalin's war crimes. So let's not go there.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Like all
Anything else to say about Hitman? Anything else to philosophize about Hitman's?
No, we are
Devolina,
not talking about Lacan. We are
let's.
not
I mean,
talking about
he's there in every film. In if you want to take the mirror wala thing that he
Yeah,
keeps
yeah,
on
yeah.
babbling on about.
He is
So,
referenced everywhere. Even the
Basically.
filmmakers don't know that they're referencing him.
and
So,
Lacan's writing himself, writing itself is very indecipherable. So who knows? Anyways, any other ramblings on Hitman?
Nice, sir.
No.
I mean, I understand. I mean, let's go with the fact that I understand why people
you?
liked the movie. I think
I think they're just
People
giving
wanted to
very-
like the movie, and that's why they liked it.
I think they're giving an easy
Thank you.
pass to Linklater here, but
No, and also to Powell because
They're
he's
also
got a
give-
chance
they're-
like this after
I
a
they're
suppose.
also
decade.
giving
Or
a very easy pass. They're also giving a very easy pass to the quote unquote theatrical experience because
I suppose.
theaters aren't performing well. And I'm like,
Sure.
fine, I get that, but this movie is really not that great. It's okay. I like it fine. But इतना jump up करने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है.
I suppose.
It is sexy, but it is not as smart as it thinks it is.
I am actually very curious to watch Bernie, the other film he's made, which is also adapted from a Hollingsworth article.
Yes.
Apparently,
with the
that
third-
really commits
Apparently
to
that is going
the
dark, yeah.
that commits to the morbid humor of whatever happened. I mean, it's about a serial killer who the society basically accepted in Texas, which I'm like, that's some.
Barack Obama.
We are going to get demonetized so quick. I'm not even kidding.
ये आपको मैं moderator बनाने वाला था by the way.
I would not have set this up. You did it, not me.
Fine, मेरी गलती है, ठीक है. Anyways,
Jesus
and
Christ.
I was going to say utter a name that matches with a popular website from the 2000s. Yahoo.
Ouch.
anyways, I think we are done for today. Thank you guys for being here. I have wasted 1 hour 23 minutes of my time, not on the film, on
मैं
this
तो बड़े मजे
conversation.
लूटे.
Anyways, but yes, next week. Oh yeah, we will be back on the live stream
Chris
either
Patrick
Dhruv is
sounds-
discussing.
getting
Chris Patrick-
Dhruv is getting
Chris
his
Patrick
newest
asked-
dose of depresso inside out too.
Chris Patrick asked
First one's
such
not
an
depressing.
existential question to us that we also don't know how to answer at this point.
Let us
कुछ
see.
भी नहीं है ये
कुछ
कुछ
भी
भी
नहीं
नहीं unless हाँ anyway no next
It's
week
like a
we will be
Salman Khan film. दिल में आती है, समझ में नहीं.
दिल में तो ये बिल्कुल नहीं आएगी
Sir,
सर
sir,
दर्द
I
में
wanted
आएगी
to make,
शायद
sir, I wanted to make a Seinfeld reference. क्यों lowest common denominator पे जाते हो? This is a stream about
सर
nothing.
क्वालिटी एपिसोड का ऐसा है तो फिर ऐसी पे जाएंगे ना
फिल्म
एनीवेज
तो अच्छी देख लें हम.
होपफुली
जिसपे
नेक्स्ट
agreement
वीक
हो.
होपफुली नेक्स्ट वीक आई मीन अग्रीमेंट नहीं हुआ अगले हफ्ते तो फिर तो आएगा ही
Inside
नहीं
Out
ना
तो हो
कोई
जाएगा. Inside Out तो हो जाएगा.
no if we might be discussing Inside Out and Inside Out 2 or we will just be discussing Inside Out 2 depending on what I think we think about the second one
And whether or not Sanjeet watches Chandu Champion.
I'm not discussing Chandu Champion or
मेरा
Inside Out
मेरा जो लक है मुझे आएगा
लक
वही
नहीं
assignment
आप लोगे असाइनमेंट ठीक है लक नहीं है
नहीं
Just to
नहीं,
watch
नहीं।
Kartik Aryan overact.
If Swapnil is
Overstretch
here in
every
the
muscle.
chat, I just wanted to ask when is Athoi releasing the Bengali movie? I just want to check if is it releasing this week or next week? I think it's releasing this week. Athoi is a Bengali adaptation of Othello, like the 26th adaptation of Othello ever. But yes, it's a Bengali adaptation of Othello. I'm curious to see it. So.
Yeah, I have a very soft spot for Inside Out. So if Varun doesn't like it, he's not coming next week to. The
I'm
live
going to be
stream.
busy this week. I don't think I'm going to go to watch a movie.
Okay, fine. Then you're not coming anyways. So we are safe. Anyways, I think everyone
Sunday
else
को time
likes.
मिल गया so I'll go. If I get time on Sunday.
पहले hope दे दो उसके बाद तो.
I'm big. I'm super fond of animation stuff. Like there's
Inside Out. If you don't like, I will.
I like Up a lot. Like a lot.
You like Pete Doctor stuff, no?
He
You
did
like Soul?
Inside Out.
Soul
like
also you
Soul?
like?
No, I don't watch that.
Okay.
Interesting.
I know
What's
watched
that?
that. I know watched Turning Red also, which was pretty.
Turning Red is not
talked
him though. That's
Turning
No,
Red
but
isn't
I'm
him.
just talking about animation. In general.
Yeah. I mean, animation-wise, it's gorgeous, but like, just I think conceptual level, pe it's like something else. But anyways,
The only cartoon or the only bit of animation I've not liked in my life is that idiot Dora, and that bigger idiot Bheem, Chota Bheem,
please.
which is a
Some-
movie.
some-
Did you guys see that?
Yes, a
thing about
live
that
action movie. Yes, a live action movie is out
movie
there.
with Anupam Kher playing the Maharaja of Dholakpur or whatever.
Some things just keep with yourself, okay? Not on the live stream, please. I don't like if this is the Ryan.
The Ryan Reynolds movie. Surprise! Nobody likes a Ryan Reynolds movie. It's fine. Let's move on.
Except Ryan Reynolds.
But it's a live action mixed
Jesus
with
Christ.
that, no? It's like
basically a
Paddington
live
wala
ac-
thing.
He also did Detective Pikachu that way.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's,
he did.
it's
He did.
basically a live action version of that cartoon, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Which
Okay.
if anybody hasn't seen that cartoon, it's quite funny. But anyway,
Chris will take great offense, which is not new. I think everyone takes offense.
Do you see the few F's here? No. Sorry, Chris. I had to make a Dora reference.
Anyways, Inside Out we will be discussing next week. If Sanjeet somehow manages to convince other people to watch and discuss Chandu Champion, sure. But I am not going for that. I am
Him and
definitely going
Kartik
for Inside
Aryan.
Out.
Please watch out for that live stream.
It'll do well. So, I mean, the movie will do well, but like, no, I have Inside Out.
Keep your
unless
hopes to yourself.
Unless Kartik Aryan completely F's it up, which there's a high possibility.
Trailer देखा है?
मुझे-
अरे
I am
छोड़
not
दो
the
भाई
audience,
किसी को तो छोड़ दो
I'm not
उसने
the
एक्टिंग
audience,
छोड़
but
दी तो हम क्या छोड़े?
I didn't even like Kalki's trailer, which is apparently getting rave reviews at this point. Kalki's trailer, and I'm like,
Did
"Kya
Nag
dekh rahe ho
Ashwin do a
तुम
good
लोग?"
go
job
ahead
with
Devlin. Have you
Maharashtra?
seen the first one? I think a lot of people have seen the first one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
yeah.
was
But
a
doesn't
big
matter.
money.
Is there
Huh?
like a
Yeah, it's a direct
is there-
continuation.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it goes
for,
up.
also, why will you not watch the first one?
No, because it's just do you need to be up to date
Yes.
on the lore? Like with minions and all.
This is basically like saying, do you need to, when you have to become 14, do you need to also become 10 and then go become 14? It's like that.
क्या अंकल एनालॉजी थी ये.
अंकल नहीं है ये, एक्चुअली है पिक्चर ही वो है, तो क्या बोलूं मैं. इट्स अबाउट अ
ध्रुव अंकल
गर्ल
ही पैदा
ग्रोइंग
हुआ.
अप. You though don't get to say this, okay? You of all people don't get to say this, okay? His interview with yeah. Varun, did you watch it?
No,
Okay.
I'm not interested in the film. I'm not interested in that movie.
अब
I
तो
am
मैं
writing
पूछ
a
भी
piece.
सकता हूँ.
I am writing a piece on Laksh though. Please wait for that next week. Hopefully on the
After
आपका
a very
लक्ष्य.
long time, after a very long time, we will read a review by we will read a piece by Varun where he's actually interested.
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully.
And Varun will also decide when I have to do his episode, which has been in the making for 2 months.
Yeah, it's been in the making for a long time. Lots of
Yeah.
stuff happened. I'll
Yes.
tell you once the
Anyways,
stream
I
ends.
think we babbled on unnecessarily for way too long today.
But Sanjeet, we are half an hour short of your cutoff time. You should be happy.
Yeah,
about
I
this.
think we should have been at least a half an hour more short, but okay.
Yes.
We talked about the movie for a solid 50 minutes.
We talked
I
about it
do
for
have
about
to say,
35
I
minutes.
do have to say, our pacing is better than Hitman's, so that's good.
We jumped from plot point to plot point better.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. I am exhausted. I am very sorry if you are exhausted too. We will be back next week though, and you will be getting the queer cinema in or Bollywood queer cinema episode part 1 this week, which is a mega episode which I have to edit, but
Nice.
it's also a wonderful, wonderful episode.
Mega
I think.
episode,
So-
please tell us how long it is before you call it a mega episode.
No, not your standards se nahi. No. If anyone has listened to
Aastak ke
Varun
nahi
ka
hoga, sir.
podcast, then no, yes. No, that is the time where I will split the episode into 2 parts. So no. Anyways, but
That
yeah, you
was
will
a
be getting
good
that episode.
though, by the way, Varun. That was a really
We had
good
a good,
episode.
we had good continuity in that.
हाँ कर दो अपना
Except towards the end where Sanjeet lost his mind because it was 2:30 in the morning and he said Ritik climbs a mountain that is 18,000 35,000 meters high. I said, I don't know where he's going.
Chris, don't compare our episode to that. I think it's much better than that. But okay. Anyways, thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for bearing us. And yeah.
Bearing with us, that just our mothers did.
हम लोग load bearers नहीं है.
Thank you, Arun, for also
Correcting your
correcting
grammar.
something I said. Yes, yeah. Thank you. I'm tired. Sorry. Bye.